the risk is if you pitch before, then
Yeah.
they're ready. In reality, your customer knows that they haven't given you enough information for you to align with the proper product, right? So
Uh,
that's where you feel like you're just being sold to.
So, my name is Azealia and this is my colleague John. We're just checking out some pens today.
yeah. So at this point, a mistake I've made in the past is they go, "Hey, I'm John and I'm Azealia. We're just checking out some pens today." And
Right.
normally I would go, "Oh, well, that's great. We have three awesome pens, and here are some details about them." But I've been
Yeah.
hearing that's actually somewhat of a rookie mistake because this is
Right.
kind of a time to be asking questions, but I'm not
Correct.
sure. Like, what
Yeah.
would you?
In a retail setting, you don't go right for the jugular,
Yeah.
or even in a B2B setting, you'd want to ask them questions about what brings them in today, which you did, I believe. What I think what brings you in was perfect. What brings you in today? It's kind of obvious, but they're gonna talk about, well, you sell pens, and they're gonna give you some kind of information to
Okay.
to help you with guiding them to the pen that should align with their needs, right? So,
Yeah.
like my question would be, Azealia, you've come into our shop. Thank you for being here. Um, what I don't know if what do you do for a living, or what type of work are you involved with,
Okay.
or something like that, just to give you a little bit of a foundation of what type of person she is, right?
Okay. Yeah. Let's try
And then
that.
you could, yeah.
Well, welcome to Quillworks, both of you. I'd love to know a little bit about you. What kind of work are you in, Azealia?
So, I'm a businesswoman. I sign a lot of important documents, and I'm looking for a unique pen to stand out.
So she's given you some really important information. She's a businesswoman and she signs a lot of important documents. I'd want to ask another question before I lead them to my demo, right? Because that's what we do as salespeople. We want to go right to our product.
Yeah,
So
I
let's
make
hold
that
off.
mistake all the time.
I would resist. I would say, oh, your business. You signed a lot of important documents. Can you tell me more about how you use your pen? Do you use your pen, and who you're around when you're signing documents? Are you
Oh
with
yeah.
clients? Are you with your senior leadership? That might be a bit too probing, but that's where I'm going with I'm trying to find out, again, get paint a really clear picture of how she's using the pen so that I can align her with the proper solution.
Okay. That's great to hear, Azealia. I'm curious, when you're using the pen and hoping to stand out, are you around some of your staff or are you around your leadership? Who's around when you're using the pen? Something like that.
Perfect.
So, usually it's just me and the person I'm signing with.
Oh,
But I
Okay,
still want to make a good impression.
that's
like a
it.
client, like a customer.
So probe a little bit further. So is it safe to say the person you're signing with is a client?
Okay.
Like, because that's going to tell you a lot about how you can navigate, right? You need to know who she's with to impress.
Who's she with that needs to impress? And is it too probing a question to ask, are you making like basically, I can't think of an elegant way to say this, but are these clients making big purchases that it would be important to impress
Well,
them?
you mean she's already told you she's a businesswoman. She's telling you're signing important documents. You may want to say, oh, are you important documents? Are the documents for a big purchase? That's not an inappropriate thing to say, because we have a lot of, that, or
Okay.
so we have a lot of our customers that are in business and work and use our pens in that manner. You're trying to
Uh,
relate your customer
yeah.
to your customers. By doing that, you're using the power of third parties to form a bit of a social reference point, so that Azealia feels comfortable working with you. So you're signaling to the customer as well that you have customers that you, Imran, have sold before.
Yes.
And it's a power of social proof. And you have to develop a story where they use our pens only when they're signing that final contract with the client, or an important document leading up to a final purchase. So when you say that, it relates back to the customer's life, they feel more
Okay.
comfortable and they feel like, oh, you're an expert, right?
Okay.
Because you deal with people like me.
It's
Good
relevant.
job
Yeah.
so far. Okay.
Okay.
So we need
Yeah.
more
Thanks for the
information.
help. All right. Oh, I see. You're signing important documents. So, is it safe to say you might be working with some high-profile clients? Because that sounds pretty familiar. I actually have had quite a few folks come through here signing big deals and just trying to make a good impression. Is that similar to what you're doing?
So, yeah, I do work with some high-profile clients. I just want to make sure I have the right pen to match my image.
Okay, so I think applying the
Beautiful.
lesson is gonna take some practice for me. It takes some finesse, but I think
Well, but
yeah,
that's
it
the
makes a lot of
response you
sense.
want, right?
Yeah.
Like you've basically you've allowed your customer to give you all the information you need to be confident now to start to move over to your product. But
Okay.
before then, the risk is if you pitch before,
Yeah.
then they're ready. They, in reality, your customer knows that they haven't given you enough information for you to align with the proper product, right?
Uh,
So that's where you feel like you're just being sold to. But by asking those questions ahead of time, you've taken the time to empathize, understand her needs, her situation, match it to other clients that you've already dealt with, laying that foundation of social proof, and also signaling your expertise. You
that's a
wouldn't
really interesting point
you wouldn't have
that,
time to do that if you didn't ask those questions, right?
yeah, that makes a lot of sense that, and it's sort of a visceral feeling that you haven't given them enough information for them to say, oh, this is the perfect fit for you, because how would they know that? That's really interesting.
You ever walk into a dealership and you always see, you're going in and you need to buy a car, and the first thing you see and spot that's perfectly positioned is the one that's out of reach. It's like a price
Yes.
point that's so far from what you had in your head. It's in there. You don't buy it. They never sell that car. That's $150,000 and say they don't
Huh.
sell it, but it's there. And you look at it, you look at the price tag, and then you feel better buying the $60,000 car, which is still a premium. So you can just maybe start by that. Say, you know what, we have a like a pen that's priced like a $700 pen would, like a Mont Blanc. It's called
Yes.
our Elegance fountain pen. It's reasonably priced at 150, and it would align with what you've told me, what my customers tell me, that are in your line of work, as a pen that would
Normally
have
be.
these features and they would benefit you in this way. So I would speak in feature and benefit language.
Okay, I get what you're trying to do, Azealia, and that makes a lot of sense. It's something a lot of our customers mention. They want to get something like a Mont Blanc pen to have it match their image, but they're looking for something within a more reasonable budget. So, um, what we can offer that has the same kind of quality as a pen like that is our Elegance Ink fountain pen, and it's a very reasonably priced pen. It's only $150 compared to some of those kind of custom made pens. It's, in my opinion, what would suit you best. We do have some lower end models as well. We have a mid range uh, rollerball pen that's $20, but I don't think that's going to match your the image you're trying to create for yourself. Okay, let's see. Again, it takes practice to put it into practice.
It sounded great, Imran. Like you're a very good speaker. So
Can you tell me more about the construction material and ink type of the Elegance ink fountain pen? I want to make sure it's the right fit for me.
Yes, absolutely. The construction material is titanium and it's handcrafted. Definitely something that's going to be eye-catching if you're looking to make that impression, like you're saying. And the ink type is water-based ink, so it has this really crisp and vibrant finish. So even the signature should leave an impression, Azealia.
So, that sounds really interesting. But I'm not sure if it's within my budget. Can you show me something that's a little more affordable?
Okay, so I have been in this position so many times. And one piece of advice I've gotten recently is not to back down right away. What do you think now, kind of hearing that it might
So,
be out of her budget?
so a couple of things I would suggest as well is to not your hold back on your opinion, Imran. The customer didn't ask you for your opinion, and the risk is if you throw that out there, it might look too much like you're trying to guide her, manipulate her to the higher end pen, and that's probably the reactiveness that Azealia is giving you now. The Azealia is not bought in because what in my opinion, you gave her your opinion too fast. You said this pen's not for you.
That makes sense.
And if you tell a customer that, they will fight hard to prove you wrong. So I would give it another college try from that perspective, using feel, fail, found, because you haven't really defended your position yet.
And what is the found part again? So I understand the first two. I understand the first two, the feel and the felt. What is the found part?
So I feel you, right? I feel you, Azealia. You don't have to say I feel you, but I understand and agree with her. Don't disagree with her.
Got it.
You say like I hear you. Okay. Some of my customers felt the exact same way. You pause a little bit and then you say what they found though.
Got it.
What they found is that, they were just, it became a talking point. Feel, felt, found is kind of an easy one to reference for that conversation you're having right now with your client.
Okay, let me try that. That's an awesome technique.
I feel, felt, found.
All right. I understand what you're saying, Azealia, and I've actually heard that from a few of my previous customers as well. But quite a few of them have come back to say that what ended up happening after they bought the Elegance ink pen was that it was so eye-catching, it actually led to a lot of conversations with their clients and just became a talking piece that helped them build rapport and build a relationship. So for them, it ended up being, well worth it to spend the extra money for those just conversations, that they had later on. Definitely takes practice.
Have you tried this before?
No, I understand that, but I really need to stick to my budget. Can you show me something that's within my price range?
I need to practice it. I haven't heard of that before. It's a great great phrasing.
So how about this? So Azealia, what was in your mind for your asked her budget? What's her price range, right?
So Azealia, what is your budget? What kind of price range did you have in mind?
So my budget is around $50.
Well, how about this? We have a financing option as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And here's the thing, and you may want to get creative and say, listen, again, we deal with business people, professionals every day. How about this? Take the pen for $50. Okay. We do have very reasonable return policies and financing options. But I am so confident that you're going to come back and thank me, and because of all the deals that you're signing, yada, yada, yada.
Oh, I love it. Okay, let me try that. That's awesome.
Just give it a shot.
Okay, how about this, Azealia? I will give you the Elegance ink fountain pen with a financing option that you can take today for the $50 as a deposit. And you can pay that back over the next 6 months. I'm so confident that you're going to develop so many new relationships just from the talking piece that this is. You'll be back, with friends or recommending other people to get that same pen. So what do you think? Why don't you take it today? You can leave the $50 as a deposit and we'll go from there.
So I appreciate the offer, but I really can't do financing right now. Do you have any other options that are within my budget?
That was a great idea. I think it's also the execution. I haven't done that before, but it's a great option that if I got a little better at, I think could work. Okay, so I will try to sell her maybe 2 of the $20 pens or just a $20 pen, maybe just
at this point, you know what? And if you want to come back and, look at some other options, Or we can call you, we have, because you don't have a product that fits her budget at all. Like she's willing to spend $50 and you don't have a $50 product. That's a problem, right? So how about this? What I'll do is I will talk to our vendors, and I'm going to find a $50 option for you that is in between the range of our Glide Pro and our Elegance fountain pen.
Is that something a new sales hire should do though? Like, or at this point, should they just sell the $20 pen?
Well, you know what? Like again, context matters. So if it's a store where you have the ability to do a bit of like, hey, let me talk to my manager. It seems like, she might come back to say like, it seems to me like the $20 pen is not what you're like, it's not going to align with your goals here. We don't have a mid-range option at the moment. Maybe would you be willing to wait a few days? I'll give you a call, perhaps with another option for that. Because if it's an easy thing for you to do as a store worker, right, that's great. And it's customers like that. Customers love options. They love customization. Sure. So, and you make more money, right? The store makes more money.
Yeah.
That's what we're here to do.
Yeah, that makes total sense. Right? Okay. Yeah. Let me try it and see what happens. Cause that's a great piece of advice for someone in a sales position like this.
Yeah. Cause as well, I would appreciate that advice as an employee trying to move up the ladder, trying to make mark internally. If I really care about what I do and care about serving the customers, I'm not going to just say, sorry, that's all I have. Okay, well, you can hire anybody to do that. But a really good employee will try at least make an effort to accommodate the client. That was my point.
Got it. That makes total sense. Okay, let me try that. Well, we have a mid-range pen, Azealia, that's $20, but I don't think it's going to match what you're looking for. So what I can do is talk to my manager and see if we have any other products or new products coming in that might get you what you're looking for within your budget. And I could give you a call later this week to let you know if I found something.
Okay.
So, but you know what? That is an interesting concept. Yeah. So I guess she didn't buy the pen.
Okay.
But kind of on purpose, right? We chose not to sell her a pen.
Right.
But I do think that's a really great piece of advice, because that's another way to let a business owner know, hey, there's money being left on the table here, right? We don't, someone's coming with a $50 budget, to your point, and we don't have a $50 product. That's really useful.
So I was thinking about that I wanted to jump in. Why don't go ahead with the $20 pen? And I'm going to call you if we get, so you at least get the sale.
Gotcha.
Then that's what we should have done. What I teach in sales, it's not about pulling the wool over their eyes and manipulating. It's about communicating facts, thoughts, stories, so that they align optimally with the product that's right for the customer. So everybody's happy. There's a win-win.
Yeah.
That's when good sales happens. You love it. You love the experience.
Yeah, it's not a trick. Yeah.
You're paying more money and you're happy. Like, why? Like, why am I paying more money at this place? And I'm happy to pay money there. That they've done the right combination of positioning so that I feel like I'm always in control as a customer, and I'm happy to pay a premium amount to that business.